Hello, Aldwyn Altuney here, and I am with Dave Kane today. He's an online business consultant from Find Net Solutions. Hello, Dave. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. Oh, well, for us
Great.
Aussies it is anyway, so.
Yes, exactly. Now, what is an online business consultant for those that are wondering?
Okay. Well, before we get into this, I just want to say thanks for having me on, and it's been a bit of a week. It's being stuck at home, but on Monday you and I managed to have a quickie, and
Yes.
now I'm having an AA meeting. So
Yes.
it's been what a week, and it's only Wednesday. So.
Now, for that, we're probably going to clarify the quickie because I think that's absolutely.
No, we'll just keep it in suspense. So that's the best part of marketing, isn't it?
Okay, so we'll come back to the quickie. All right,
Yeah.
This will be a fairly quickie one here today as well. We're doing a quickie half hour for you.
Okay, I'll just give you a little bit of background.
Sure.
My background is an auto electrician. So back in the 90s, I had an automotive workshop. We did auto, electrical and mechanical engineering, mechanical repairs on vehicles. And I knocked up a website because websites were new back in the 90s for my business. And I was on the management committee for an automotive group for the East Coast of Australia. And so I knocked one up for me, and then everyone else wanted one. So in 2000, we launched Find Net Solutions. So we went from website developing in the 90s to website and SEO, and then Google came around. And then, so from there, we progressed to an online business consultant because there's a little bit of difference, and a lot of people don't understand what an online business consultant is, but it's more than just a web developer or your digital marketer. So to give you an idea, whether people want to start a business online or they want to scale up or pivot their existing business, we look at what's best for the client from the platform that they're going to be, the different platforms they're going to be using, how they interact with each other, make sure that they've got the right product and message to market, because a lot of business owners, if you look at their website or their web presence at all, it's all me, or we. And they forget about the most important person is the visitor to the website, which is because they're emotional beings, and most digital marketers sort of forget that. Well, as far as website developers go anyway. So we look at the whole spectrum with the end in mind. So it's not the short run, it's the long run. So that's what we look at. So we're there from concept to completion with ongoing support and marketing. So that's what we do.
Brilliant. And so why is talking to an online business consultant the first step before starting an online business profile for people?
Well, we've noticed it over the years that most people, most business owners get it wrong because they're looking at everything from their own perspective. Or they take marketing advice from a salesperson and they get stuck in an online presence that isn't flexible enough or can't grow with them, or there's a heap of different things. So we look at their product and their product offer and how that fits with their client and the platforms that are going to work for them. So they've got, at the end of the day, they've got control, because if you're stuck on, say, a Wix website or something, you don't own that. So or if you've got a shopping cart and you're on Shopify, well, you don't own it. You're their president. You've got to pay them every month, regardless. So you can't go and say, I want to host that somewhere else. And just things like that. So everything works together. And it just saves them time, money, headaches. So if it's a smart business owner, they look at their online presence as an investment, whereas the ones that always struggle, they look at that as a cost, and they try and either knock it up themselves or whatever. So the first smart step is getting the right guidance, even if it's just one of our quick strategy sessions. So the business owner's got an idea of what platforms, who's the best person to talk to, and how they fit together. And we keep this as simple as we can for them, because it can be quite overwhelming, and if they've got their own in-house person for, say, social media marketing or whatever, we give them those extra tips just to make their life smoother and make sure it all fits together, because the social media marketer is looking at this particular thing, where if it's someone else, they're only looking at this. If it's someone in branding, they're only looking at this. Whereas we look at it over a whole, the whole thing, if that makes sense.
You look at the whole online strategy.
Yeah, and so they've got a simple step-by-step thing that they need to do. And so for their social media marketing, well, then they can do their calendar for the year, so that it's all planned out, and they're not jumping from here to there to there and trying to juggle so many balls at once. And they can repurpose content smartly, not waste time trying to do it here and do something different there, and make sure it matches for each platform that they're going to be doing it on. And at the end of the day, where a lot of social media marketers get it wrong is they keep doing the content on the social media platforms, but where there's so much noise and static, they want them from there and onto their website. And that website not only needs to be good SEO, so people can find it, but it needs to be engaging. It needs to talk to the visitor. So a lot of business owners don't know their ideal customer. They should really know their ideal customers, so the page talks to them. So if you look at website designers, I reckon there's 3 groups. This is how I sort of put it out there.
Yes.
There's the web developer, who's the real codey guy or girl, and they do all the SEO, and so it ranks really well, and they're so focused on that, and it might look okay, right? But there's but when the visitor gets there, it doesn't have that connection, that emotional, connection that visitor needs. So you can get them from being cold through the buyer's journey, so they go, oh yeah, click, and opt in, do whatever they need to do. And the second group is the graphical people that make it all look really pretty, But the thing is, it's no use having the best store in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean? That's what I've been saying to people for years. So the thing is that it needs to be both appealing and easy to find, but it also, when people when the clients, visitors get there, it needs to be what they're interested in. And so the pages need to be designed properly, so that people, when they click on this, they're not taken somewhere they don't really need to go. If it can be a pop-up, well, a pop-up's better. Then they can do whatever they do, can close it, and they haven't lost where they are. Or a lot of developers go and put social media or their links up nice and high on the website. You don't want people to go from your website to your social media profile. You want them where there's no other distractions. So they're looking at you only, in your product, your service. But yeah. Did I tell you about the third one?
No, I think we're up to 2.
The third one.
Yeah.
Okay. The third, because the first one's the real codey SEO guy, and the other one's a real pretty one. And the third one is the do-it-yourselfers that just get stuck with whatever they run into, whether it be a GoDaddy website, or whether it's a Wix website, a Squarespace website, or whatever, that they just got sold by they got sold by someone anyway. And then those platforms are great for just for people that just need to do something themselves, but they don't have the flexibility. They struggle to grow with the business as the business develops and grows, like all businesses should, or in cases like in these current times where they need to pivot. They're very hard to pivot, and if you do, well, you suddenly, instead of paying $79 a month or $97 a month or whatever you pay for like a Wix website or whatever, you start suddenly paying $200 a month, you know. So they're basically half screwed, you know, because the only way of doing it is to start from the beginning again. So if they looked at it as an investment and got a little bit of advice to start with, well, then they'd be able to at least do something themselves, and then they've got someone to keep coming back to and saying, hey, what do we do next, you know? But you notice with a lot of do-it-yourself websites that some look good, some look bloody terrible, and some look really fantastic. But at the end of the day is they still need to convert, but you need to get traffic there as well. And the business owner that's working in their business, that they can't see what they need to see, you know, they're too busy, you know, like a dog digging, you know.
Yes, you do see a lot of people, you know, doing it themselves on Wix. Now, if they do a free Wix website or a free, there's two different versions of WordPress too, isn't there, where it actually has Wix in the title, or it has, you know, WordPress, so there's a .org or .com, right, with the WordPress.
Yeah.
So, you know, that never really looks professional when it's not just your domain.com, where it's got, you know, Wix in it, or it's got
I mean, but if you've got a hosting account from anywhere, which is normally has a Plesk or a cPanel, they've got a fast install that you just click, and you can install WordPress with a click. Put the username and password in that you want. You have the domain name, so it's just pointed to it, and it's done. And then you can choose from one of their themes, but you can have a theme, and that's another pitfall that a lot of people fall into. They get their web developer, the Cody guy, who wants to tailor make, you know, wants it all tailor made just for them, and he puts all the special code and everything else in, and then a couple of years later, when it all needs updating all the software, because WordPress is updated, the browsers are updated, there's all different for security and for visualization and all that sort of stuff. They can't find the developer, or another couple of $1,000s later, they have to redo it all again, you know. So it's just the little smart things that if you can find set up a WordPress website the right way, and then have a theme that's got a lifetime updates and has support that you can jump on their forum and ask a question if you want to do something, and you get all that guidance, well, then you're miles in front, you know. So it saves redoing it. So you just need to think a little bit more into the future, you know, because everything's changing all the time, and you need to put yourself and your business in that position, you know.
Yes. And I think, you know, really crucial to get the right people on board to help with your business where you are not skilled, right? So rather than, you know, trying to do everything yourself, you really need to find the right people who you can outsource to, who you can trust to look after different areas of your business, so you can focus on what you are best at, right? And this is a big challenge a lot of business owners have, is letting go of parts of their business that they're maybe not that great at, and they think they can do it themselves. And I find this with the PR world as well. You know, some people, you know, think they can go out and do it themselves, but they, you know, they haven't looked at their branding, they haven't looked at their social media strategy before they go to get publicity. You know, it's a whole gamut of things you need to look at. You need to build the foundation properly before you can work from there, and that involves getting experts on board like yourself. So, and knowing who to trust too, because, you know, there's a lot of scammers out there and that sort of thing. So with your business, Dave, what are some things that you've done to build trust with your clients, and how do you show that on your website?
Well, I suppose being doing this for over 20 years, and we're still here. So, and most of our work comes from referrals internationally, you know. So from business consultants that realize that that they're talking to a business about their, their systems and stuff that's in place within the business and how that all works together, but they realise that their online has a similar presence that they need sorting out. So we've got bucket loads of testimonials, and video after video, kind of going back to 2000. When we first doing videos, and that was when we had a dirty great big webcam that we're using. That was when phones were phones, and our phone was a bag phone back then, back in the 90s. But so the testimonials and reviews, and if you look at the backlinks and all those other things that just that show trust, and you can build rapport. So the other thing that we think is one of our key points is that we don't talk all geeky stuff. So Mr. Average Businessman can understand it from us. So they don't get all overwhelmed. And that's the thing, is a confused mind says no, don't they? So and the other thing that I'd like to just stress to business owners is that don't take marketing advice from a salesperson. Stop and look at it and just see if it's a win-win, because you think that they're doing the right thing, but at the end of the day, is there a better, smarter way, or more efficient and effective way of doing something? And that could be just simple things like doing, when you're on Facebook and you say, oh, promote this and we'll get you so many more reaches. You can do that with 3 times plus or 300 times more reach if you do it the right way than just doing it straight off the cuff. Or if you look at looking for a domain name, and I've got a client who didn't re-register their domain name, and they end up coming to us, and we went to have a look at it, and they don't want the $20 or whatever it is on GoDaddy. Guess how much they want?
How much?
Tell me, how much? Just have a guess how much they want. And it's it's just a .com business name.
Oh,
it's only because a couple of people have been looking at it. His previous person that was looking after it, he did, and then I've looked at it. And so GoDaddy thinks, oh, so people really want this, so they've held on to it. Have a guess how much they want for this domain name that still is sitting there months and months and months later.
$500, $1,000.
$2,500.
$2,500. Wow. Well, GoDaddy, I have not had good experiences with GoDaddy, I must say. I'm very disappointed with GoDaddy's customer service at the moment, and I've heard a lot of people say the same thing, that it's absolutely atrocious, and I will not be recommending GoDaddy to anybody moving forward.
But I bet you could see that they're pivoting beforehand, because GoDaddy's offering logo design and all this other stuff, and I'm thinking, because I can remember back, I don't know how many years, and you register a domain name with GoDaddy, and and then you try and get to the to the checkout, and it's, oh, do you want this? You want this? You want this? And I'm just thinking, if it's just a normal person that does it, this is the first time, they'll be buying everything that they don't really need, And I think, yes, is that really a win-win, or is that gouging? I just think that that's just, our philosophy is, if it's not a win for every party, you don't go into it. It's because at the end of the day, you're going to end up with a bad name or something. Okay, and you only get one name.
Yes.
In anything, you only get one name, and if you're known as something, well, it's going to get around.
Yes.
And if it doesn't, well, the thing is that it's it's just not right. And there's a lot of with this current climate, there's a lot of pretenders being trying to do what was a part-time hobby to do and shown themselves as professionals. So just have a good look and have a look at their background and just see, how much depth they've got,
Yes. Yes.
So that's all I can, say, because reviews are not always what they are either. So you just be careful with that, So look deeper than just reviews, but reviews are important. At a glance, reviews, if you look at Google's stats for Google My Business page, for the Google reviews on your Google My Business page, across all age groups, it's a 92% trust factor that 92% of people take that as a measure of trust, sorry, it's 82%. I think it's 90 something for the younger generation, and the older generation it's lower. So the average is 82% or something like that. So
that's still a lot.
It is. But you can buy those. So, but we've got a platform that people can use to help automate that, so they can, from trusted people, they can get the reviews that they're after. But it's also got a platform it's also got a thing where you set the star rating, so you ask for feedback, and when people give you that feedback, if you've set it only to get 5-star ratings, if it's 4 or less, the feedback will come back to you and not go on to your Google page or TripAdvisor or Facebook or whatever we link it to, and it's only the other reviews that go through. So that's a little bit of but that helps keep your profile up. But the thing is, at the end of the day, people, if you don't do the right thing by them, they're going to give you a bad review.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's going to take you 20 or 30 to try and bring that average back up again. So
yes, reputation management online is really big. And of course, getting publicity does help with that. If you get publicity, ideally good publicity, we don't suggest you smuggle drugs out of Bali or anything like that to get publicity.
Although she got plenty.
She did get plenty. She did, and now she's a superstar, right? Now they've got TV shows about her. Anyway, that's a whole other.
That's a hard way of getting there.
That is a hard way. Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got to go through jail in Bali, right? I mean, gosh, who would want that? We've got Gopal here from India on the Facebook Live. Hello, Gopal. Great to see you. He says GoDaddy is not a good website development site. I totally agree. The servers are ridiculously slow. I've had all sorts of issues with that. So I highly agree with you there. Gopal says, love your humour. Thank you, Gopal. He says he feels the traffic on websites will be going down. E-commerce will boom post-COVID. What are your thoughts about that, Dave?
Well, if businesses weren't pivoting towards how they can do more online, 5-6 years ago, if they weren't starting to think about it and start doing something then, everything from click and collect to whatever. So, but again, some business owners go, oh, no, well, we're local and we want to. But the thing is that it's not what you want as a business owner. It's what the customer expects. And now it's so easy to do business from home that even people that were technically challenged are getting into it, so
that's true.
Whatever it is, whether it be getting the contract done, and so it's so it everything's done as much online as possible, and so, but then we get into the other trap that we see with people online is that if they've got, say, a Shopify site, they are stuck there, whereas they did it in a WordPress website with WooCommerce plugins or whatever, they can achieve the same thing or better, because your SEO on WordPress is the best you're going to get. WordPress is the largest website development platform globally, and it's free. You're only paying for the hosting and someone to administer it if you need someone to administer it. But and the thing is that so many people go about a lot of things the wrong way, you know, whether it be affiliate marketing or drop shipping, you know. So if people want to start a business online, that's where we also give them a hand with getting them to look at the product that they're after, and, you know, what's the cost of acquisition, you know, for each customer, and look at the, you know, the gross profit of the product. You know, is it going to be viable? You know, because if you're selling $5, you know, you're only making $5 a sale, you know, you really are not going to be able to afford to do paid advertising for it, are you? You know what I mean? And then there's other things. Like if you look at affiliate marketing and it's on eBay or Amazon, it's only a couple of percent, you know. And it, you know, so to make, you know, to make a good living, it's a hard slog, you know. But if it's with drop shipping, it's a higher commission. But again, if you look at digital products, you can sell digital products, and we've got a platform that people can sell digital products, and it's 100% ROI, okay, 100% return. So you buy it once, and you can keep on selling it and selling it and selling and selling, and get 100% of that retail value back every sale. And there's a small admin fee to keep your landing pages and email responders up to date, and, you know, the server up. But that's about it, you know, compared to, you know, so you can make $500 a sale or $1,000 a sale, whereas other people are struggling and trying to sell stuff because they think it's cheaper, it's going to sell easier. Yeah, but you got to sell a bucket load or a truckload, you know, and then if you want to do paid advertising, that's where you really need to be for something like that. You can't afford it because the cost per acquisition per customer is more than what you're making for the product, you know. So it's just a simple thing. If people just say, oh, I want to do this, it's just a matter of just connecting and saying, what do you think about this? And we'd say, well, have you thought about doing this, or why not this? Why this? Why don't you go this? You know.
Yes.
And because if you're drop shipping it, then you're not packing and doing all that stuff. You know, all you're doing is the middleman. And, you know, the order comes on your website, they pay you, the order is placed, the packing slip goes automatically to the warehouse, and the warehouse sends it out, you know, like Kogan, you know.
Yes, and ClickBank's another one.
Yeah. Oh, well, ClickBank's is a whole heap of them, but yeah. But Kogan just does drop shipping for that stuff. So,
right.
You know, so they just take the order, then they source it and get it to you, you know. So that's why my webcam took 6 weeks to get here, my new one. But again, it was demand, you know, with all this stuff, it's a huge demand.
Yes. Now there's we could chat for ages, but we did say there's going to be a quickie. So so wrapping up our quickie shortly. What I'd love to hear from you is a lot of people are talking now about pivoting in business now during COVID, and a lot of people are saying, you know, you need to give lots of great content to your customers, because you said, you know, you need to give customers what they expect. And I think something customers expect is customer service, and I think they want things quickly now too. I think there's this urgency. People want everything sort of done yesterday, you know.
And so you like our quickies, do you?
Yes, I do like the quickies. So we had a quickie, and this is something you've done, obviously pivoting in your business, is you've launched these quickies, and I'm sure people are dying to hear what these quickies are about. So could you explain that, please?
Yeah, Monday mornings, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Sunday Eastern Daylight Time for our US mates. My eldest daughter, Nikki, well, she runs it. I just hang around. Is our quickie tips and tools for online success. So we've done one with making sure you understand your avatar and how to do it properly, whereas most businesses don't. Then we did how to make time, and I ran that one just on how you can make an extra working week every month, and how to do a workflow that is going to take you half the time that most people take doing the same 3 tasks, you know. And it's it's just hard to do until you get it, the practice in, because we all want to stop and change and multitask and do stuff. But if you do it in a certain order, you do it in half the time. And so that was our second one. Our third one was you, the Media Queen. Next Monday morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time at 10 a.m. is Nikki with common costly mistakes on social media that we see all the time. And it's not any techie stuff. It's just things that if people did it a slightly different way, they get a much better result, or they wouldn't waste as much time or money, or, because a lot of people think, it's only my time, but expense is both time and money. It's you're paying for it somehow. Either you're paying for it with your time or with your money. And the following week after that, we've got the 14 business tips for something during a recession, to cope during a recession. And the following week, I've got our Google Insider on, and I'm going to have an interview with him about some tips for SEO and Google and all that sort of stuff. So, and then we've got them on and on and on. So they're every week. So it's just a Zoom call, and you're probably going to put the link in the bottom, but it's findnetsolutions.com/quickie-register. Or just go to Find Net Solutions and you'll see Quickie register next to the homepage menu button.
Yes. Brilliant. And no longer than half an hour. So the guests come on and do 10 minutes. So
and then Q&A, and we keep it nice and short. And I tell you what, I know so many people, and I'm the same, is I friggin' hate those webinars that you get on there and you spend the first, it's an hour webinar, right? And you spend the first 20 minutes, they're going, how great we are, how great we are. And then you get 20 minutes of content, and then, or 10 minutes of content and 10 minutes of Q&A. And then the last 20 minutes is all sell. Let's, but this is not a sales pitch. It's just, we're just sharing some stuff. And if people want to know more, then in the follow-up email that comes out on the notes and where the link is to rewatch, they get the contact details for the guest speakers. So, and there's normally some free offers, and stuff like that. So anyway, but it's not a sales pitch. It's just giving back, because
that's great.
The feedback that we've been getting is people are so overwhelmed and I don't know what to do. And we figured, so the questions that we fielded first up were, I don't know who to target. So that was the avatar. I don't have enough time. So I showed them how to make time. Last week was on, we need some publicity. So that was why we had you on. And next week is for, making social media a little bit easier for people that are techo or that are technically challenged, or just people that just do it the wrong way around anyway. Because if you look at, we're just talking about content. So what you want to have is the answers for people that they can't just find on Google, just so you've got something special for them. Yes. And they can see that it's there. But if you do that as a blog article on your website, it's good for SEO, especially if it's WordPress, because you press publish, and it depends on what SEO package you've got in the back end, it's going to ping all those search engine feeder sites. And so it knows straight away that all those need to come and crawl and pick up the keywords and do all that. But then all you need to do is copy that URL into what have you got to say, or what is it on LinkedIn? What do you got to say? If you put it on Facebook, it's what's on your mind. Okay. Just paste that URL into there. It will drag in the first couple of sentences, the title and the image. Most of the time the image. If not, go find a better image. And then you can put something catchy at the top, something thought-provoking, something engaging, something, and when people are reading it, you're taking them from Facebook or LinkedIn to your website where they're not being distracted by anyone, and that's where you can. That's where your content, and the way the pages are worked, and and the wording and the engaging content can convert them.
Yes, and that's the thing, is you want to have total control over your website, whereas social media, you don't have any control whether you get taken off social media. It's owned by other people. So
yeah, that's right. Yes, and that's the same as if it's your WordPress website and yours. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful you don't get black banned by Google, because then no one will find you. But a lot of people fall into the big trap, because they're thinking, oh, social media. And I say to them, because everything's social media. But stop and just tell me, if you're looking for the answer for something, you want to find something, what do?
You Google.
You Google it. So you need to you use your social media profile to build your brand, as you know, and drag them to your website where they're your audience.
Yes, absolutely. And then it's great content.
And you want that website to be flexible and be able to pivot and do whatever it needs to do as you grow or change or have to adapt, without costing you a bucket load, So anyway.
Yes, that's brilliant. Thank you. And Gopal says, good quickies. So if people miss some of the previous quickies, Dave, have you got the recording somewhere they can see?
Yeah, if they register for quickies, then they can see the previous ones. And if they have registered for a quickie or one of our past clients or whatever, they can join our mentoring group. But it's a closed mentoring group for people that are genuine. So we don't know whether people are genuine until they opt into something, and we can see that there's a bit of participation, because we don't, it's a closed group. It's just not for everyone. But Nikki puts good content up there regularly, that helpful hints and tips and stuff that that anyone can understand, basically. So yeah.
Brilliant. And Nikki's your lovely daughter, so I think that's wonderful that you work together. And
yeah, well, she runs the show. I just do the business development side of it.
Right. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to hearing from her on Monday. Thank you so much, Dave. Any final words?
Yeah. So if anyone's got any questions, we've got an obligation-free. You can just jump to our website, and below the Contact Us page, if you just mouse over it, is support ticket. Just go there and just tell us what your biggest challenge or frustration is, or whatever it is that you're trying to do around online and business and whatever. And if we don't know off the top of our heads, we'll find it. If not, we'll steer you to the right person for branding, or the right person for media, or the right person. But don't just take one person's word for something, like GoDaddy's or whoever, or just one so-called expert, one specialist, because it takes a few, and you have to be able to look and go, yeah, that's good for that, but how is that? What's that going to be like down the track? And how's that going to work in with this? How's that going to work in? So, if you're not sure, just jump on and we'll have a complimentary exploratory interview, and just see how we can help you. That's all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dave. It's been an absolute pleasure having a chat with you today.
So you're going to join me for a quickie on Monday?
Yes, I will join you for a quickie, and we might even have others join in on the quickie too. So who else is going to join in? Are you joining in? If you're watching this right now, you're going to be joining in 10 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time on Monday for half an hour, quickie with some fantastic business tips. Brilliant idea. I love your quickie idea, Dave. And initially when you said quickie, I thought, oh, that's a bit much to ask on a Zoom meeting. I love it. I think it's very cool.
It does catch the point. So the thing is that anyway, so I want to thank you for your time, and thanks again for the quickie on Monday. Everyone said they got a lot out of it. So and you've got a webinar coming up with more details on Saturday, I think.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I've got a webinar on how to gain free publicity during COVID-19, and I'll put the link for that also in the chat in the comments underneath this live video on Facebook. So we'll put your link to the quickies, and we'll put mine to the webinar, free webinar from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. including Q&A. So it's not so much a quickie. I'm doing a 2-hour one, about 90 minutes of content, and lots of content. You'll be getting heaps out of the webinar, and then half an hour of Q&A. So that will be live this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which I'd say LA time will be around 9 p.m., right? 9 to 11 p.m. on the Friday night. So so we'll be going backwards. And if it's PST time, I believe it will be, it'll be probably 6.
You said PST time.
6 till 8. Well, EST and then PST. So the other side of America is, I think.
Yeah, but it's summer over there.
Yeah, so it'll be the Friday night if you're in America. So I'd love you to join me.
Hang on, let me just go.
For that, Dave's going to check it out. Excellent. And while you're doing that, Dave, all my upcoming events are listed in the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook and on Meetup. And also, if you follow me on Eventbrite, follow Aldwyn Altuney, you'll see all our upcoming events. I have a 4-hour workshop also called How to Gain $1 Million Worth of Free Publicity. That is coming up on June 6th. That's 9:30 to 1:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And there's also Mass Media Tribe meetups that I'm doing. We've got one with Carla Pazika coming up on how to market your magic and thrive online. That's coming up on May 21. So all the upcoming events, all in Mass Media Tribe. And they're on my website as well, aaxpose.com, as Dave's just been saying. Take people to your website. Okay, so over at my website, you'll see them also there, as well as some latest news articles of some of my clients that have been in the media lately and getting some great results on TV, in print and on radio. So that's
what time was that again on Saturday?
The PST. So it's so Saturday is 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
11 a.m.
till 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time will be the free webinar.
Okay. In LA, it's 6 p.m. and 9 in New York.
There you go.
The day before Tuesday. Friday.
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 Friday night, 6 p.m. in LA and 9 p.m. in New York. Brilliant.
Yep.
Fantastic. And if you are somewhere else in the world right now, I'd love to hear from you. How have you been coping with COVID? What are you doing in business? Have you been pivoting? How has life changed for you since the COVID situation has evolved? I would love to hear from you.
Can I throw one last comment in?
Sure, Dave.
About pivoting and about people in business?
Sure.
There's one scary group of business owners that are trying to pivot, and they're doing things like I've got a couple. One had a good well-branded website, but it just needed some tweaking, and they've got in there because they're looking at it from their point of view and said, no, we don't want too many images like that. And they've changed it so much that if I'm putting myself in their customer's shoes, I don't relate at all. The images just don't relate to what they do. I won't tell you who it is. It's a fairly large Australian company, and they're Australia-wide. And I go, oh, guys, why'd you do that? But anyway, they're smarter than me, so we just let that go. And then I've got another client who's registered. They're going to be doing the same thing. They just registered another domain name, but they're going to set it up on a Square, what do you call it? Anyway, one of those other websites, because their next door neighbor can knock up a website for them, you know. And I'm thinking, for the cost of the website, one job, because they do large construction stuff, one job would pay for it so many times over, you know, and it'd be done right, you know. And I think, oh, and I just feel so sorry for them that they're taking advice from, you know, and I think, oh, anyway.
Yes.
You know, the teacher's ready when the student's ready. So that's all you can say.
Yes. So in other words, seek an expert, save yourself a whole lot of time and money and heartache, and it'll make the world of difference for your business and for your life.
Yeah. And look at it as an investment. And, you know, just because that's time and money, just, you know, just spend the time, pick up the phone or just ask for help, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Great. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you for
Pleasure.
being.
Pleasure.
So again, the link for people, the website to go to join the quickie on Monday is
findnetsolutions.com.
Yes.
And /quickie
Quickie
hyphen. That's the big word I was trying to think of.
Quickie hyphen.
Quickie register. Yeah, or just go to findnetsolutions.com and it's Quickie register up the top. Just click on it and then register. And then once you register, on the success page is the logon details and all that stuff, and the videos, the crop videos for the previous quickies. So we can watch them there, and if you register there, well, then you can join Nikki's Facebook group, which is Easy Biz Mentoring, that she's been running for I don't know how many years, but yeah, it's got heaps of stuff in there, and she's always putting new stuff in there. And if you've got a question, it's a good place to ask. But we used to have it very, very confined to just the people, our clients that were just online business, they just had an online business. But now we've opened it to all businesses that are related, that just need a hand, that have committed to asking us, you know, not just some random, like a Facebook like or something, you know.
Yes. Brilliant. I think that's fantastic. Excellent. And obviously lots of great tips and tricks on your website as well. People can find out about it. You have a free offer there as well, don't you?
We've got a number. So we've got the book that I knocked up the end of last year, 7 Costly Mistakes Business Owners Make Online. And I've also got a free appraisal briefing for their online presence, because anyone can do an SEO audit, you know. That's pretty straightforward, but it's more than SEO. If you get people to your website, they need to interact correctly with that website as well, you know. And the website needs to flow properly, and you know, not be distracting, or you know, so it's a combination that we look at that, and we look at its effectiveness overall, rather than just SEO or just, you know. And so we give a bit of a brief overview, and if they want us to go further, well, then they can pay. But otherwise, it just gives them a bit of an idea of where to go next or what to focus on.
Fantastic. Excellent. So findnetsolutions.com. Findnetsolutions.com.
.com.au also goes there, but that's an extra 3 types, you know. And when you're only a 2-finger typist, you know, yes, you do that a lot of times a day.
Findnetsolutions.com. Brilliant. Fantastic, Dave. Thank you so much. Looking forward to the quickie on Monday. And of course, you can join myself as well at aaxpose.com. And I think the thing is too, Dave, just a final word again on that, is that with people's websites, you know, they often think, oh, well, website's not ready, etc. But, you know, I think the main thing is just to keep working on your website, because there'll probably never be a point when you go, I'm completely happy with my website, right? It's something that's a constant work in progress.
And that's the great thing about it. I've got a client who's a sign writer, and I say, Chris, I said, it doesn't matter. It's not a sign, mate. We can change it as we go. It'll be changed in 2 minutes. I said, as quick as you do graphics and before you print it, that's as quick as that's as easy it is to change the website. But we want to, you know, keep it consistent, and it needs to grow as you grow, you know, and as your business grows. So, you need it so it's easy for you to use, and that's when we when we design a website for a client, they can jump on there and it's easy for them to do it. They don't get overwhelmed, you know, trying to do this, and it's all in different sections, and you know, it's nothing like that. So
yes. Yes, brilliant. And if people want to know what a good website looks like, go to findnetsolutions.com, right?
Well, it's a bit like a plumber or a painter does paint their own house. The thing is that when you have time to do your own stuff, you know, so, but yeah, we really should focus on a little bit more on us than things, but it also sets an example. But people get an idea if they look there that within every fold, there are a motivating question to actually do something or look at something, or you know, you want a website that works better, or you know, because we've got a first on Google guarantee, and we do that, but we can't do it to everyone. We can only do it to one business per area. You know what I mean? But you know, and so whenever that is, it doesn't take them away from where they are. They can click on it, open it, it's done, and they can submit it, and they're still there, and they don't need to go anywhere, but they can, you know. So
love it.
Yeah. Anyway, I could talk for days.
Yes, we could keep talking. This quicky's gone a little bit longer than a quick quickie, so we're doing a longer quickie today. It's been awesome though chatting with you, Dave. Thank you so much again for your time. Really appreciate it, and for your generosity in sharing that great information. And for those watching this, what is a aha moment that you have got out of watching this right now? What's something you've learned, or something you're going to implement now in your business or your life after watching this? Please put in the chat there. Love to hear from you. What is something you've got from this live? And again, findnetsolutions.com to check out the quickie on Monday, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for half an hour. And I have my How to Gain Free Publicity During COVID-19 webinar also on this Saturday from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So I'd love you to join us there. I'm at the Mass Media Tribe group. You'll see all the upcoming events if you hop over there, Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook or Meetup, and also Eventbrite. You can follow me there and you'll see all the upcoming events, and also on my website, aaxpose.com. And the AA is not for Alcoholics Anonymous. It is for my initials.
I thought that was his meeting, AA, the meeting with AA. You know?
The meeting with AA. It is for Aldwyn, Altuney. And let me just very quickly say how the idea started. When I first looked at starting a photography business in 2002, it was Expose Photography was the title I was thinking of when I was working as a journalist at the Gold Coast Sun. And I looked up Expose Photography, and it was actually a porn site in Holland, right? And I thought, okay, well, I don't want a porn site to be linked to that. So I put the AA at the beginning for my initials, and that's how it came about. And then AA Expose Media evolved when I left my position as a journalist at the Gold Coast Sun in 2005, and people started asking for media work and press releases and things like that. It evolved into a media business. So that's how the AA ended up at the beginning of the business name.
Yeah, because I don't need an AA meeting.
No, you don't need it. No, you're good now, Dave. You've had your AA meeting for the day, so
done.
You're done.
I'm dry now till 5 p.m.
Yeah. Great. I'm very proud of you, Dave. Good work.
It's beer o'clock time. But it's also time for our UK clients. So I better make sure it's a light beer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you go.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Dave. All right, thank you for watching, and remember to shine your light bright and light up all those around you. Here's to stepping up and stepping out with your message and making the difference that only you are here to make. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.